The year is 2023. PBS Plus has just launched, bringing the world's streaming services to 4,387. How can anyone be expected to go through all this content? Fear not, loyal passengers. Captain Joe Shoes and his first mate Mez are here to travel through space and time to bring you the best nuggets pop culture has to offer. Strap in. It's time for the JoeMeZ podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 342 of the JoeMeZ podcast. I'm Mez, and my co-host, as always, is
the star of WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, yeah.
The magistrate of Caravan City and one half of the FWF Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
I'm a lot of things because I'm
Yeah,
Joe from the JoeMeZ podcast.
Yeah, you are, buddy. What's up? How you doing?
Oh, my God, Gomez, could I possibly be doing any better?
I don't know. Could you? You had a busy week, my friend.
BC. Like the guy in the Frosty the Snowman cartoon.
Yes, the stupid magician.
BC.
I've seen it 400 times, and I just cannot remember the stupid guy's name.
He steals Frosty's hat.
How dare? Well, no, that was his hat.
Yeah,
come on. Yeah. Frosty's a jerk, bro.
Yeah, he is.
Beef. Like, hello, it's not yours. What are you doing?
Thief.
Can't trust those snowmen.
If it wasn't for that wind, we would have had a Frosty.
Imagine. That's so sad to think about. Thank God there was wind. I don't really like wind, though. So this is the one time I'll allow wind.
I could do without Frosty.
What? What are we doing? Why are we...
This shouldn't come as a shock. We all know my opinions on snow and cold.
But Frosty, you know, he's chilling.
And things that shouldn't be coming to life.
What about like Olaf? He's got like the little cloud over his head, so he could be like in the warm weather, so it don't affect you. You know, there's no snow, fine. Just a snowman walking around talking. That's good.
I guess that's okay.
Okay, good. I still don't like the Frosty slander, but okay. As long as we can have some snowman.
Listen.
What about Jack Frost? I know you love that snowman.
Which version?
The evil Jack Frost. No one likes Michael.
Did you see what he did to that poor girl?
Yes, we all saw. We saw that carrot.
We don't need that in our lives. Come on now.
You want to hang out with Michael Keaton, deadbeat dad, Jack Frost? Come on. Yes. Seems like a good time, right?
He had an earring. That's how you know he's legit.
Oh, too funny.
Oh, guys, thank you for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to hit the subscribe button wherever it is that you're listening or watching this show. Remember to leave a 5-star review on any of the podcast apps and follow us on all social media at JoeMeZ. And Gomez, you alluded to it already. What a busy week. BC.
Well, let's go in order. Come on, tell us about your week.
Well, obviously, it was WrestleMania weekend out in Los Angeles, California, and like I've been saying for weeks, I was going to be there the Thursday night with the Major Wrestling Figure podcast for Live 2000. Awesome. And man, I got to basically open the show.
Oh, really?
You always put top talent on first. Suck them in.
That's it. Get everyone up their feet. Get them all excited.
I got to do a spot with Sam Roberts, professional broadcaster himself.
Sam Roberts. Wow, that's funny.
So as the story goes, originally the show was supposed to take place at the El Segundo Brewery. Yeah. They decided to not have us perform at the El Segundo Brewery. Instead, we were at the Bourbon Room in Hollywood, which ended up being, I guess, a blessing in disguise. The building was absolutely phenomenal.
That's great.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it yet.
Oh, if you
I saw pictures, but I didn't see the video. I know it's available for download.
You can watch it on the Premier Streaming Network anytime you want. Yeah. Check out me, Sam Roberts, Orange Cassidy, Evil Uno, Max Caster, Boom Boom, Cole Cabana, RJ City.
RJ City.
RJ City. This is the first time I've met RJ City. And I'll be honest, for a long time, I didn't, number one, I didn't know who RJ City was for a long time. I was very late to the party. And once I like finally started seeing his stuff, I was like, oh, like his deal is that he's just somebody's sassy aunt. And then I got it. And he came and he did a bit about how he was the understudy for the Undertaker's one-man show.
Oh my God.
And it was amazing. It was incredible. The guy's just unreal. So, I mean, that alone is worth the price of the download. If you haven't watched it already, definitely check it out. For me, Sam Roberts came out dressed as Stone Cold Steve Austin and said,
"Oh, that's funny.
Why would Stone Cold come to a place like this and drink your warm piss PBR?" And I came out to defend the honor of our favorite beer, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Hysterical.
The only beer, mind you, that stays red, white, and blue all year round, Gomez.
Love it. USA, baby.
And if you hate Pabst Blue Ribbon, you hate America.
Oh, we can't have that.
And if you hate America, we have a word for people like that. And that word, Gomez.
What is it?
Terrorist.
Whoa. That's strong language you're throwing out there, bro.
And I had an entire room full of people chanting terrorist, terrorist, which is the most absurd thing that has probably ever happened in my life, was getting a room full of people to chant terrorist at Sam Roberts.
So that's fucking funny. I love it.
Just so much fun. Great show. It really was so much fun. And then that was the beginning of my weekend. But even before that, Gomez.
What happened before?
You know, I start with the highlight of the night. But I mean, we can debate highlights. Highlights, Gomez, you may know, are subjective.
Sure.
And as I flew into Los Angeles on Thursday, late morning, early afternoon, I arrived and first said, "Oh my God, why is it so cold here?"
What was the temperature, bro?
It was 59 degrees.
Bro, sunny California. That's bullshit.
Sunny California is a
lie.
myth.
It's a lie.
It's bullshit, California.
That John Denver's full of shit.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That sucks.
So I was freezing. But I knew I had to make the most of my time, Gomez, because what do we know about time?
It's the most important thing, baby.
Most valuable resource known to man. So I ran to my hotel. I didn't run. I took an Uber. I would never run.
No.
Running is for the worst people.
Running. Get out of here.
So I get to the hotel. I check in. They had my room ready. Give myself a quick little haircut. Clogged up the shower because I didn't know what to do with the hair. So I just did it in the shower. Took a shower in a giant puddle of clogged hair tub.
What are you doing, bro? Why were you so excited? Something must have been up that you're just not thinking right.
I needed to maximize my time, so I decide, you know what? I gotta put on my captain shoes clothes now. That way I could save time in case I need more time on the back end. Because as soon as I got there, I wanted to get in another Uber and go to the Sizzler. We've been talking about this. This was the main reason.
This is the reason
I
you
made
went.
the cross-country trip.
Oh,
Wasn't to be a part of the major show. It was to have Sizzler. And my God, Gomez, the Sizzler. Like I just pulled up.
Just pulling up, right? I could only imagine.
And
Your
it was like,
fluttering.
you see that sign, and it just feels like the warm embrace of a lovely ex-girlfriend who you're genuinely happy to see for, I don't know, 84 minutes. But I wanted to maximize my time there, eat as much as I possibly could, and just enjoy the ambiance of being in a Sizzler.
Yeah.
So I gave myself about 2.5 hours to be at Sizzler. And it was opening day for the Mets. And I was like, yo, I could stay in this hotel, just Uber Eats and watch the game. Or I could go to the Sizzler and just listen to it on the radio feed in my headphones, where they talk to me. I hear the voices in my head like Randy Orton.
Yeah. Oh, no. Those are not good voices.
Well, I don't know. I could walk straight, so I guess it's okay. So I went to the Sizzler, and there it is, right on the menu. My favorite thing, the double Malibu chicken.
And baby.
You always get the double because you never know when the last time is that you're going to be able to have it. That's my genuine outlook on this situation.
I love it.
Like, people are listening now, not for the major pod stuff, not for the toy stuff, not for WrestleMania. They want to hear about the double Malibu chicken. And JoeMeZ, I wish I could just take it behind the middle school and get it pregnant. I showed up at that counter. I said, ma'am, I will have the double Malibu chicken, a loaded baked potato, a Pepsi, and the salad bar. And she goes, wow, you knew what you wanted. I go, believe me.
If you only knew, honey.
She genuinely said to me, she goes, wow, that was a very direct order. I was like, I knew what I was coming for. But not all that glitters is gold, JoeMeZ.
What the hell is gold? This is take what? What is happening here?
There is a problem. There was an issue.
Don't want to hear this.
The salad bar was not the kind of salad bar I remember. You see, in the old days of the Sizzler, at least on the East Coast, the salad bar would be filled with potato wedges, chicken wings, meatballs, spaghetti, make your own taco or burrito, make your own nachos with cheese and toppings and stuff. And of course, the most impressive thing ever known to man, those Sizzler corn fritters. Those things alone are worth the price of admission.
Oh, yeah.
It might be my genuine favorite food item, singular favorite food item ever. And you've experienced those Sizzler corn fritters. So
my favorite things. I love them.
It's just unbelievable.
I miss them every day.
There are other places you
can
get
corn fritters, okay,
but it's not. There's no such thing.
Always okay.
Yeah,
I've come close, but it's always missing. I don't know. They
never compete with the Sizzlers. It's like having the mozzarella sticks at White Castle. People don't understand how good those damn mozzarella sticks. Those are top. I've had better mozzarella sticks at White Castle than some restaurants.
Oh, hell yeah. 100%.
They are bangers. If you've never had the mozz at White Castle, do yourself a favor, get there, have them. They're bangers. Shoes approves. But this salad bar in the Los Angeles area of California, JoeMeZ.
What happened?
It was like an actual salad bar.
What, fucking just salad?
With salad.
What are we doing? It's supposed to be one little section, one little salad, 12 dressings, and that's it.
I do a whole lap around the whole island
I must be
constituted the salad bar. And I said, my God, I don't understand what is happening right now. Why would my God forsaken me like this?
That's so sad.
And then I came upon it at the end of my lap. And yeah, it was some hot food items. But it was only the chicken wings, some spicy Thai chicken nugget bites things, which were And that was it. No meatballs, no potato wedges, no corn fritters, especially. And I said, my God, what? It's like blue balls. It's blue balls, JoeMeZ.
It is.
It's getting to put it in, but not being allowed to finish.
The worst. What's the point?
Because the Malibu chicken was so good. The baked potato was so good. And then all I wanted was just 11 plates of corn fritters.
See, I might have left because I don't love like any dish. Like I'm a corn fritter guy, and then I'll just, I'll grab some shrimp or something. But at least you got to enjoy your Malibu chicken because that would have been very
yes, I did. And the thing is, too, I understand that, there are a lot of people who go to Sizzler, or at least that we know in during the day, you'd go to Sizzler and just get the salad bar because you could eat great for the salad bar.
Yeah, 100%.
This salad bar, you could not. It was so disappointing. And I sat there contemplating my life, and I genuinely wondered if I was happy or not. I didn't know. I didn't know.
So
And I
sad.
sat there and I thought about skipping the major show and maybe just trying to go to a different Sizzler, and getting more Malibu chicken, and then hoping they had a better salad bar at a different Sizzler.
Maybe.
And I said, you know what? I'm here. I came all this way. I'm going to fulfill my commitments. But let me get ice cream before I go.
Okay.
And JoeMeZ.
Oh, I hear it.
The ice cream machine may have saved the day.
Oh, here we go.
You go to a Sizzler or a lot like a Golden Corral, and they have the ice cream machine.
A little machine in the corner,
but it's usually a little bit watery, right?
It's never great.
It's fine. You like it because it's there, but you never come back saying, "Man, that fucking ice cream was a banger." But you're kind of okay with it.
Yeah.
This JoeMeZ.
Oh shit.
Was one of the best soft serve ice cream machines I have ever experienced. Like ice cream truck worthy.
Oh, got Mr. Softy. Oh,
I had that vanilla chocolate mixed swirl. Threw some syrup and sprinkles on it. And I was like, my goodness, this was creamy. It was delicious. I was so happy in the moment to have that ice cream. I said, well, wait. We don't need to rush out of here. Let's get a second ice cream. And I made a second sundae and I sat back down and I was just so happy with my second sundae that I looked at my watch and I said, I think I got time for another one.
Oh, bro.
And I had a third sundae, JoeMeZ.
That's dangerous before a show, bro.
And I definitely shouldn't have been doing that, but I did. And I looked at my watch again. I said, God,
don't do it.
I'm going to have a fourth.
No.
One for each horseman.
Big horseman guy, Joe. Loves that Ric Flair.
I love that Mongo. One for Mongo, one for Roma, one for Sid, one for Oli. The four horsemen. That's what they call them.
Love it.
Finally, I say, oh, okay, I think we're done here.
No Booker T 5 times.
He wasn't a horseman.
5 times.
Oh, I thought you meant 5 times a horseman. I was like, that would be fucking impressive.
That would be. They don't let him in there.
So it was a bittersweet. At the end of the day, it was a bittersweet trip to the Sizzler because, I mean, listen, any Sizzler is better than no Sizzler, but it wasn't quite the Sizzler I remember.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I know that's all you guys tuned in to hear about this week. So thanks for listening to the Car JoeMeZ podcast.
See you next week.
See you next week.
I mean, that's the high. That's the peak of the story here.
It was a roller coaster of emotions. It definitely was. You think about the highest of highs and then doing that lap around the salad bar, constituting the lowest of lows. And just like, you're just standing there going, oh my God, like, did this really just happen? Am I that let down by the Sizzler? And I said, you know what? Hopefully I got a couple more days in California. Hopefully I'll be able to get in Sizzler a couple more times. JoeMeZ, spoiler alert, I did not get a second round at the Sizzler.
That makes me sad, but I understand it's a busy week.
I ended up getting busy and having to do stuff and just couldn't fit it in. And that's one of the biggest regrets in my life.
But what if you went there and didn't have corn fritters? You want that double.
I could eat that double Malibu chicken all day. Like, it's great. I love it. And it was so good. But I really, after leaving the Sizzler that day, I'm like, tomorrow I definitely have to try a different Sizzler and just see what's there.
You never know.
But I'll never know. Now I'll have to go back at some point. Sure. It sucks that I have to get on a 5.5 hour flight to be able to enjoy the wonderfulness that is the Sizzler. But such is life, as they say in John Wick 4.
Next month is pay-per-view in Puerto Rico. Tell the major boys, let's do a show.
Oh my God, they have the Sizzler in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, tell them do a show, bro. Let's go.
And I'm a big wrestling guy now, so that's a good place to go.
See that? Make it happen, boys. Let's go.
Oh man. So yeah, so other we did the major show. It was great. It was a really good show. Head back. By the end of that day, I was shot because I had been up since like 4 a.m.
Travel just kills you alone.
The travel, the Sizzler, the excitement, the disappointment, giving Sam Roberts a stunner on stage in front of a room full of people chanting terrorist. And then when I said that Sam hates kids because he's never donated to the Majors toy drive, we got a Sam hates kids chant. So for all you kids out there, that stunner was for you. All the kids that Sam Roberts has ever hated over the past few decades, that was for you. From your pal Magistrate Joe Shoes.
Joe. Thank you, bro. We appreciate it.
So yeah, I couldn't wait to get to sleep. And I'm normally someone who I like to sleep with noise. So I always put on some kind of show or something before I go to sleep. I got back to the hotel.
You just passed out, bro.
I laid in bed. I was texting with a couple people, just normal, whatever. And the next thing I know, I woke up like 4 hours later to take a whiz with like my phone in my hand and my shoulder crunched under me. I was like, how did I even get here?
Jeez. Oh, I love it. Look, I was just one day, bro.
That was one day.
That's one day.
A lot of emotions in that one day.
What a day, my goodness. Oh, so anything else cool happened while you're over there?
I mean, for the weekend, yeah.
What else is going on?
So I got invited, and it's been out there now. I said I was going to be going to WrestleMania, right?
Yeah,
I did. I did attend my first WrestleMania Saturday night. I went to night
one. I've been trying to drag this guy for fucking years. Let's go to WrestleMania.
And this is true. Gomez, all our friends, Gomez, our friends Pete Cool, Armando, our circle of friends, BAC, they've gone to multiple WrestleManias now. As a group, they all go. And I say, no, I'm not interested. I got to go see About a Girl, which is not always the case. But I will say it because it sounds a lot better than I don't want to hang out with you fucking losers at WrestleMania. But a lot of times, too, give me credit. WrestleMania was like a 22-hour show for a couple of years. I don't want to sit. I don't care if it was fucking He-Man doing this shit. I don't want to sit there for 22 hours.
Listen, we went to a lot of bad WrestleManias, but we have gone to some good ones, too. But yes, it's bad.
But the reason I was going to WrestleMania was because earlier in the day, I was invited to the Mattel Design Center on behalf of the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. And awesome. I got to see like a whole tour of the design center and what goes into the action figure making process, how they go about scanning people, sculpting the figures, the way they do their 3D renders, the paint jobs. They showed some reveals. We had a Q&A panel with the whole design team. MVP and Omos came to crash the panel.
How big is that dude in person, bro?
He's big.
Yeah.
But not as big as I would have thought.
Real, okay.
Like he's big.
I get it.
But I've also met the Big Show, and the Big Show to me was like, holy fuck, this motherfucker's big. There are a few guys who you don't expect to be so big, and then you meet that. Like Billy Gunn is always the one who comes to mind for me.
Fucking monster, bro.
You don't realize like how fucking big he is. Just tall, thick, his boulders for shoulders, like just massive. I went to the gym with Billy Gunn one time, and I've never been more embarrassed in my life to the point that I looked at my tag team partner, Joe Delicious, and I looked at him and I said, bro, can we just get the fuck out of here and go eat? And we left Billy Gunn at the gym.
World's greatest tag team, baby.
That's a real story that happened in like 2005 or something. Omos, because you expect him to just be such a monster, I don't know if that was the case. Like I was like, I thought he'd be bigger. Like even I shook his hand and I wasn't like, it didn't feel like it was like swallowing up my hand or anything. Maybe I have big hands.
Just a big boy. Joe's a big boy too.
But very cool. MVP, super cool. It was nice to, like, it was, I wasn't expecting like people to show up like that. But the whole Mattel process was just unreal. We walk into the building. It was for wrestling figure influencers. And because the other guys from the Major Pod were booked up for the weekend with WrestleCon and stuff, basically they said, okay, Matt can't do it. Next. Brian can't do it. Next. Mark's in AEW. Next. What about Kinnick? Oh, Kinnick's got to run the Major Bendy's table at WrestleCon.
Hysterical.
Guys, do you have fucking anyone you could send? It was like, I guess we could send Shoes. And Shoes went and had a great time. It was, oh my God, such a great experience. You know, like basically getting to see how the sausage is made from that end.
Sounds really cool.
And we got to see some reveals. They're all those pictures and stuff are out on the Major Pod social channels now. So Mattel, out of the goodness of their heart, not only gave us this great experience, but then also took everybody invited to that event to WrestleMania Night 1.
Pretty cool.
So I got to meet Mike Belcaster from Turnbuckle Tavern, Fig Heel, who I've been following for a while. You know, these great toy collection guys. God, there's so many. Kyle Peterson, I've never met before in person. We've spoken online a lot. Kyle Peterson has one of the most epic action figure collections like ever.
Really?
You go check out his YouTube. He's got something like 20,000 subscribers. Just his one room alone. Like, it just boggles the mind. The man collects like literally everything. It's amazing. So it was, you know, we had a good time. I had a good time at WrestleMania. I was excited to go to By the end of the Mattel tour, I had been thinking about cutting out of WrestleMania early, full disclosure.
Yes.
Cena was supposed to go on first. I was like, oh, that's great. I love John Cena. I go see John Cena just to say I went to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then I'll cut out. And then Brian Myers and I were kind of like making plans to meet up at the Dodgers game and go see the Dodgers.
Oh, okay.
Never been to Dodger Stadium before. So I was like, oh, this is great. Gives me an opportunity to hit everything. Sure. But then after the Mattel tour, I hit up Brian and I was like, bro, not for nothing. I'm like kind of boned up for wrestling right now after this. I kind of want to go to WrestleMania. So I do. I'm hanging with these guys I just met. Everybody was really cool. So it was a fun experience. And I got really into the show. And I thought WrestleMania Night 1 ended up being a lot of fun. I did leave right after the entrances for the main event trying to beat the traffic and get an Uber. Very unsuccessful. That's something we could get into. What a scam the rideshare system in Los Angeles, California is.
Yes, it is.
But seeing WrestleMania, as someone, listen, I know I kind of trivialize the time I either spent in the wrestling business or was a fan of the wrestling business or collected stuff from the wrestling business. But being a wrestling fan for as long as I have been and having this be the first WrestleMania I go to, a lot of people were shocked when I told them that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, that this was my first WrestleMania. And I mean, like seeing it just like in front of you, seeing how big it is, just
so massive.
It's the whole scope of the presentation is just unreal. And you know it, like, you know that going in.
Yeah.
I've seen enough WrestleManias now to understand that this is a big production, but seeing it in person is something beyond even like being able to comprehend what you see on TV. Like seeing 80,000 people in the same place is just incredible for a wrestling show. And then having them do it again the next night, you know, the fact that they're able to do 2 nights of 80,000 people, just absolute insanity. The size of the stage, the lights, just huge. Everything.
It's crazy.
You know, just what a phenomenal event. It's a spectacle. It genuinely is a spectacle.
It's what you want.
And
they deliver.
If you ever listen, I assume if you're a wrestling fan, you've always wanted to go to WrestleMania or have gone to a WrestleMania at some point. If you've never gone to a WrestleMania, man, I'll be the first one. I didn't think it was something I was missing from my life. It was definitely not something on my bucket list that I feel like I needed to check off, but it's genuinely something I am very glad I did. It took me, you know, this long. What is it? 39 WrestleManias now.
Yeah, WrestleMania 39, baby.
I can say probably the first WrestleMania that I remember being like consciously aware of like what was happening, what was going on is probably WrestleMania 5.
Yeah, 5, 6, I would say.
5 to me is my WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Hogan versus Macho, the whole storyline going in, like actively invested in that WrestleMania. Got a VHS copy from a guy I went to school with whose family ordered it on pay-per-view the night before. So he came to school, gave it to me the next day. My
Love it.
aunt made a copy of it because she had 2 VCRs, and I wore that tape out. So you're talking all these years later. And I've watched every WrestleMania since, and I finally go to a WrestleMania, and just what an experience! Just really just blew me away.
Hell yeah! Next year it's in Philly. I think I gotta go. WrestleMania 40.
I mean, you never have to go to Philly.
I know, but I'll just go for the day. Just go. I'll go one night maybe.
Well, you know what? It's actually not bad in that sense because it's for you. You don't have to spend the whole weekend there.
No, I could drive. It's a 4-hour drive. I could do that drive. It's fine.
Yeah.
I gotta stay in fucking Philly. Who fuck that?
I'm actually surprised that Philly is getting 40.
40, right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So crazy.
Like 41, fine. But 40?
I don't know.
But let me tell you, it's going to be a fucking cold WrestleMania 40.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this weekend was nice. You know, it was 50, but that's also during the day at nighttime.
At nighttime, outdoors, in that big of a stadium.
That's the good thing about the West Coast. I think it helps, you know, that
yes,
this thing starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, not fucking 8 o'clock at night.
And this is one of the crazy things. It was, you know, the show basically is letting out at like 8 p.m. at night. Like the show is letting out.
Of you.
But then it took me so long to get a fucking cab that it just ruined my night. But let's talk about the actual show itself, WrestleMania, JoeMeZ. I know you watched it. First off, how did your stream go? I didn't get to watch any of Sweaty Men in Tights this year because after, you know, JoeMeZ starts his stream with WrestleMania Night 1. Then from there, you can log on to twitch.tv/MEZMovie and watch wrestling and wrestling content straight through until Night 2 begins, which will be the conclusion of Sweaty Men in Tights. By the time I got back to the hotel, I passed out. I had a flight the next day. I tried watching on the plane. The Wi-Fi wasn't strong enough to support Twitch. So by the time I landed back in Florida, WrestleMania Night 2 was well underway. And I got home in time to watch maybe like the last hour and a half of the show. So how did the stream go this year?
The stream was good. No problems. There were people popping in, you know. I had a bunch of people. A lot of people popping in all throughout the night. I had a steady average about 10 people coming in and out at all times. So it was nice. Some people talk, some people just watched. I had one person in here said they were watching for 15 hours straight. I wish I wrote the name down. So I was like, I love to hear that. Thank you. I put in the work. I hope you enjoyed. You know, I tried to mix it up. I feel like I put there was like 99% new clips. It was all new stuff that I had just found. I tried to do like a little Hollywood theme, a lot of like of TV shows and appearances, stuff like that to mix it in. But it was good. We had a good time. No hiccups. And I love doing that stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Did you have any standout things that you were especially proud to have in the stream this year?
Not really. I found a lot of silly stuff. Some of the cartoons were good. I did a lot of new cartoons, like Angry Beavers, stuff like that. It's old Nickel. I try to mix it up because I don't want.
I've never heard of Angry Beavers.
It's a Nickelodeon show. It was like around Nick Ball age, so like the mid 2000s, like around there. Stuff like that. I was trying to find different things. I don't want to always show Bugs Bunny and this. So I was like, what's some different? I found the Mr. Magoo wrestling episode where he's ballroom dancing and it leads to him dancing in the ring and putting on the match and stuff.
As one is wont to do, yes.
Yeah, of course. It's wrestling's a dance, right, bro?
Oh, believe me. That's why they call me the Doctor of Dance.
You know, there's a wrestling episode in the new DuckTales. You know, I haven't watched that all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces of it. But I was like, there's a whole episode where Scrooge McDuck is this legendary wrestler and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So then let's get to WrestleMania now. We do our WrestleMania recap every year. We always watch WrestleMania. JoeMeZ is still a fan, but I even watch WrestleMania. I was there live for one of the nights. Overall, what did you think of the 2-night event?
Night 1 was great. Night 2 was it was okay. So, I mean, overall, still a great, overall product here. But I definitely felt Night 2 was lacking in that department. Night 1, I thought had great matches. The flow was great. Everything went boom, boom, boom. So
I agree with you to a point.
Yeah.
Up until the main event, I thought the flow was great. The where they put the match on each match on the card, I think worked really well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was actually genuinely shocked Cena lost in that opener spot, especially when he came out with Make-A-Wish kids.
I know. Make those kids cry.
Oh my God. Wasn't expecting that. But right before the main event, the tag match, they show the highlight package. And then you get like that moment of silence, and you're just expecting Sami Zayn's music to pop in right there. Crowd is ready to lose its fucking mind at that point. Like you can feel it. The building had like a vibration to it at that point where everyone's just fired up. And then boom, TurboTax commercial.
Yeah, I know.
And we're like, what the fuck? What the genuine fuck is happening right now?
It's funny.
And then not even to be like, okay, 15 seconds. Okay, now give us the. Then we get this rapper who I understand is I've never heard of this rapper.
Sure.
And it could it's not because it's a rapper and I'm not into
no,
it could have been
performances.
It could have been Blink 182 and I could have been 19 years old at that point. There was no point in having a performance at that juncture.
No.
And it's just like mystifying to me why they felt the need to do those things right in that spot, because it did kill a lot of the buzz.
I do agree with that. There's no, I mean, he's supposed to be performing the Usos, but he's doing a song that has nothing to do with the Usos.
That was the Usos thing?
Yeah, and then the Usos came out right after. Yeah, so
I thought he was just doing a song for himself.
Well, it is.
But like I at no point did I think it had any tie-in whatsoever.
The way they announced it, like, and here Uzi, taking out the Uzi. Yeah, they made it seem like he was doing them because instant. And he gave him a dap and everything. So it's supposed to be like that was their thing.
Oh,
yeah. He's popular. It's popular. It's a very popular song, but it didn't need to be.
It didn't need to be there.
No, it didn't.
But I agree with you. Being at night one, I really enjoyed a lot of it. Cena didn't win, which I disagree with, but I thought that match was fine. I had a lot of fun with the Four Corners tag match.
Tag match was fun too. Yeah.
Like Otis and Shush and like I thought all those guys, that was a match to me, like on paper is like, oh, that's a match we don't need to watch, whatever. No. But it ended up being a lot of fun. It was really well put together. I enjoyed that. Obviously, Rhea versus Charlotte was great.
Yeah.
The one match I didn't see, I shouldn't say the one match I didn't see because I did say I left early, but during the Trish Lita Becky Lynch match, I took off to go get something to eat and get merchandise. I did not get any merchandise. I wanted this John Cena G.I. Joe t-shirt.
Yeah, there was a cool shirt, yeah.
But I walked around. As I was walking around, I ran into my double main man, Kanik.
Hysterical.
He was there with his brother and his nephews, and they were also looking for a merch stand to get this John Cena G.I. Joe shirt. We find a merch stand, but it was just like WrestleMania merch. It wasn't like the other shirts. And I had gone to the WrestleMania Superstore. They have this giant store set up in downtown LA at the convention center. And it was a giant store. They had Mattel had a display. 2K Games had a display. Fitterman was doing, I guess, some kind of signings. I had gone there the day before because Kanik had asked if I could grab him the Cody shirt, which was like the WrestleMania 7 homage.
Funny shirt, yeah.
So I picked it up for him. But had I seen that John Cena shirt there, I would have picked it up there. So, but I didn't see it until the day of WrestleMania, and I'm like, oh my God.
I was like, oh man, I was like, oh, he got a new, because he always had new shit for WrestleMania time. But I realized that when he came out, I said, oh wow, yeah, they never announced his shirt. I usually buy it before the WrestleMania to wear it for WrestleMania.
So I didn't get my John Cena shirt.
Did you get food? How was the food? Was there?
I ended up with like a personal pizza and a beer, a Stone Cold
IPA
lager. I had the lager.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a big IPA guy. I think his is actually pretty good as far as IPAs go, but his lager I find very enjoyable.
I never see the lager. I always see that.
Even though he kicked us out of his brewery, it's a good lager.
Can't front, bro.
The pop for Sami Zayn was like to be in the middle of that and just, I mean, people just going and he deserves it, man. That was great. Like for everything he's done and that whole storyline. Like I said, I watched that pay-per-view where he had the title match, and
Crazy. That shit was crazy.
now granted that was his hometown to put it over the top, but Montreal's traditionally a great wrestling crowd anyway. But holy smokes, being in the middle of that, like that size of a crowd, and just hearing everyone on the same page, insane. Oh, yeah. Logan Paul versus Seth,
so good. Yeah,
I love Logan Paul.
Crazy. He's so good, man. It's crazy how good he is.
But I will tell you, nobody in that building had any idea who that guy was inside the Prime bottle suit.
Yeah, I get it. It's because half the people don't know who Logan Paul is, right? They just know the name. They know he's somebody, but they can't tell you what the fuck he's famous for. Because he was famous before he started boxing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's that. So, yeah. When he said, I know that guy because I follow MMA and boxing and stuff, so I know this jabroni, they be fighting all the time and boxing and shit like that.
Like, that's the only reason people around me were like, "Oh my god, R-Truth is back." That was a genuine comment from people.
So funny.
But Seth coming out dressed like Rihanna.
That jacket was insane, bro. How was that? Everyone just singing along, like that's
crazy.
Cool. Right?
Crazy.
Cool.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that yet.
I can't imagine being Seth Rollins and having to travel with his entrance
with shit like that
thing. Like,
I saw a video right before he goes on. He's talking to Beck and he's like, "I told you this was a little too much." And she's like, "No, I love it. I'm so jealous."
Oh, really?
He goes out and does it. It's so funny.
Broski had the gear for a while where it was like the Road Warrior dinosaur horns coming out of like a shoulder pad thing with the splatter paint to look like.
Yeah, I like the nasty.
So it was like the Nasty Boys dinosaur thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
When he would wear that, and he only wore it a couple times because he would have to have literally one checked bag just for that gear.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So it's almost like so cumbersome.
With 4 things. That's funny.
But I thought night 1 was a lot of fun. Now, I didn't get to see night 2. I heard a lot of the critiques. A lot of people, I would say the overwhelming majority that I've seen have said night 1 was the better night, which makes me happy I got to go to night 1.
It's true.
But I did hear the 3-way Intercontinental title match was
unreal.
A banger. I have not seen it yet.
Yeah,
but
you gotta watch your boy. He's great. He's great.
I love Gunther, man.
He's beating the shit. He's folks.
I just heard this. So when I went to the WrestleMania Superstore, I was wearing a Honky Tonk Man shirt under my flamingos, and one of the people working there said, "Oh, he used to be the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time." And I was like, "What do you mean used to be, pal?" And he's like,
yeah, because Gunther just passed him or something.
Gunther apparently set the record. Yeah. I had no idea. I had to question my love for Gunther. Like, why would you do such a thing?
He said the belt for a minute. So fun. But isn't that crazy? It's like when you think, you go, yo, this guy's got one of the longest reigns for IC. But in your head, right? We talk IC titles, this prestigious title and people will have it for like 3-4 months at a clip, it seems, right? When you look at it's crazy.
And then during the Attitude Era, even less than that. I mean, it got really crazy being passed around at that point.
That was the end of the IC title. That's what, right? Everyone used to be able to name all the IC champions, and then the Attitude Era started. It's like,
you can legitimately go back and name all the champions up until you get to like 98, probably, and then once you get to 98, everything just gets so crazy.
Yeah, the forgotten reigns. You go, wait, this guy was IC champion for 3 days.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There is like a Marty Jannetty in there where you're like, oh, fuck, that's right. Marty had it.
Yes. A quick cup of coffee. Oh, but yeah, night 2. So, I mean, the thing everyone's talking about, baby, this main event. Ooh, I had a feeling. I brought it up weeks ago. I said, that 1,000 days is coming up, and I don't know.
You did.
I was like, I don't know. I feel like I just felt something about it. I don't know why.
See, now, when we went back and watched what was it? No Way Out that Sammy had the main event.
Yeah.
And we said, they had this opportunity for a great moment, but because of everything they've been building,
it makes sense to not waste it. WrestleMania.
It's almost impossible to pull the trigger in that moment, knowing you have WrestleMania so close. But that I figured and I assumed, which was,
did.
that would be the finish at WrestleMania, where someone would finally dethrone Roman. Man, I'm genuinely surprised.
Very surprised.
But at the same time, had Cody won, and now, like, don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm so invested one way or the other. Once again, I thought you had the opportunity for another great moment. People were literally going crazy about this Cody Rhodes thing. If Cody would have won, we'd be sitting here today saying that was the most predictable main event in the history of WrestleMania. Probably the most predictable since Triple H beat Jericho, right?
Possibly, but I mean, it's not wrong with predictable. You build to a story.
100%. Sometimes the predictable route is the right route. You know,
the end.
And sometimes within the business, we get carried away with wanting to surprise fans or swerve people that we end up
WCW
degrading the story being told. In this situation, I don't know whether it was a case where they're not fully bought in on Cody, whether they just have other long-term plans mapped out, whether this was a condition of the new owners taking over the company that they want Roman on top, which is very possible. I can't see the 1,000 days marker being such a attractive.
I agree.
That they would change the storyline, or not go with something just because of, a theoretical milestone. I mean, 1,000 days is, it
crazy.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
367 or whatever. That's good too.
Yeah. So I can't see them saying, "Oh, but he's really close to that 1,000 days." To me, that doesn't really compute. I just assume, I shouldn't say assume. I would have to think. Listen, Roman's been very good in his role. Cody's been good since he can't come back. Heyman is, at this point, I think you have to say Heyman's the best manager of all time.
Of course.
The
longevity alone.
He's doing shit for longer, more impactful than Bobby Heenan. And I love Bobby Heenan.
Yeah.
But, it is crazy to say, like, a current day guy is better than what you've had. But now we have, like, these markers and these metrics that you can compare wrestling in a way that you necessarily can't compare cross eras in different sports, right?
Yeah.
Wrestling is a bigger business now. Wrestling is drawing more people now. It's making more money now. The ratings are through the roof. The TV rights are, and a lot of that is some of that is product of the time. But at the end of the day, what Heyman is doing is absolutely incredible and probably never been done before, and might be decades, years, eons, maybe never happen again for someone being able to perform in that singular role so well and so successful for such an extended period of time.
Yeah. 2023, you think you'd be seeing Paul Heyman front and center,
right?
Main event storylines, like, that's crazy.
I mean, you go back, Heyman post WCW, I thought maybe wouldn't be around after ECW.
Yeah.
Then he gets his little run as the announcer. Lawler comes back. Heyman leaves the company. He was phenomenal as the heel announcer in that WrestleMania X7 era. When Lawler left the company, because he was such a breath of fresh air, because Lawler had become so cliched, and Heyman would actually challenge Jim Ross, and they had that tension,
yelling at each other.
Yeah, in the commentary, it made for really good TV.
Yes, it's great.
I don't know where they go with this. I didn't watch Raw.
This the thing, right? So they had the chance with Drew McIntyre in England. They didn't pull the trigger. Had the chance with Cody. Canada didn't pull the trigger. Sammy in Canada. Cody Wrestling didn't pull. So it's like, who was left here? Like, there's no one. They would have to build someone up from scratch. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you would think at some point, because you only get the first time one time.
Yes, that's right. Cody can win this belt. It's not the same. It's not.
See, now I don't necessarily know that it's not the same.
You think he could get as over as this boy was fucking over? To have Sammy and Cody so over at the same time, whew, that ain't gonna
This
happen.
is one of the things. And when I watched the main event, the Cody Roman match, and they're doing all the run-ins,
Yeah.
Now, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, the main event should always be one-on-one, no bullshit, whatever. It's definitive, clear winner. But if you have the kind of faith in those performers, you kind of got to give them the match and keep all the bullshit away. And when they have Owens and Zayn running in,
it's perfect.
It works for what they did for the night, but it also put the thought in my head, is this them still testing Sammy? Like, okay, do we still have Sammy hot enough where he can be a legitimate contender for this belt still? And I just, unless they have some, because now that you haven't done it at WrestleMania, I don't think you can do it at SummerSlam. So, because SummerSlam, you're not going to have that kind of panache that you would by doing it at WrestleMania.
Well, SummerSlam's in an outdoor stadium again this year, so it's going to be big like it. They can make it.
And
like
SummerSlam has become a much bigger deal than we really remember it as.
Try to mimic that WrestleMania.
But there is something about WrestleMania, man.
Of course. Yes, it is a big difference.
So will it be a big deal if something happens at SummerSlam? Because right now he's not losing the belt until SummerSlam, the earliest, right?
At the most, because they set up now Brock and Cody. That's the program coming now.
And I guess fine,
something to do. But now Roman's going to be probably off of TV for at least a month. He's definitely not going to be on that Puerto Rico show. I doubt that.
Mm-hmm.
They got Cody, Brock, and they're going to have Bad Bunny doing something, so they don't need no Roman there.
Yeah.
So he's not going to probably till the Saudi show. I believe it's Puerto Rico and then Saudi Arabia show. He'd probably be on that show. They pay to have all the stars come out for that show.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have at least a month with no Roman Reigns. That's the thing. People want the belt on TV. People also complain about those matches. They all end the same. All Roman Reigns matches are running, distract, kick out, distract.
So they should complain about Ric Flair then, because all Ric Flair ever did was cheat, and then barely escape with the belt and leave the town and go do it. And the only reason we don't talk about it that way is because he wasn't on TV in fucking every territory.
So that's the thing. 3 years of it, though. I think that's the people who just want something different,
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested to see where it goes. Not that I'm interested enough to continue watching on a weekly basis, but to follow along from afar and see what goes on. If someone else comes along and gets built up, I don't even know who's out there at this point. Like, would you have to
ready?
I don't think there's no one else in the company right now that's going to get that kind of steam behind them.
No.
And even outside the company, like, who do you possibly bring in? Like, I guess Omega is one. Like, maybe
Omega, if they book him,
and if you book him correctly to make him like he's someone, that might be it.
Could be, but I don't know. There's no guarantee. It's not like his contract. He's still got a year or so.
Yeah,
you can't be hoping. I hope when his contract comes up, and then that's a lot of hoping.
Unless the plan really was all along for him to lose to The Rock
and save it for next year, WrestleMania 40.
That's the thing. Does The Rock want to come really wrestle in cold ass Philadelphia?
I can't imagine that he would turn down Hollywood but come to Phil. Like, it's so silly.
That's what I mean.
I don't want you, bro. It was Hollywood. This was the time. That's it. I don't want you in New York. I don't want you WrestleMania 42. That's not the point. Like, get out of here.
And even if you're The Rock, do you really want to do this? Like, you're another year older. It's a different kind of training. It's a different kind of thing. And you're worth so much money now. Anything can happen. You get fucking hurt. I mean, he had that match with Cena, and to no fault of either one. Remember, he like tore his groin or his pelvis or something, or his abdominal muscle in that match. And they had to postpone shooting the whole movie because of him. Yeah, the Hercules movie. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was ready to film right after, like, days after WrestleMania. I had to push back like 3-4 months. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So
especially at this point when you're older, you're more susceptible to injuries.
Especially working. Like, all of a sudden you're in the ring. Whoops! I haven't turned like that in forever.
I'm not saying The Rock can't go out there and have a main event style match. I'm saying it's fucking hard,
especially that style. Yeah, definitely. But now here's the thing. Now, WWE has been sold.
Yeah,
Vince McMahon is back in control. So who knows even if the story we were going to get is what
Is
we're
the
going
story
to
that
see.
yeah.
You know, like I can't wait. One day Triple H is gonna have a book or something where he's like, bro, this fucking Vince McMahon every Monday night coming and changing my fucking shit. Like it's gonna be crazy.
The price alone, $9.2 billion?
That's why he took it. All the reports were like 4-5 billion.
But
You give me
even like
close to 10, I'll take it. I
didn't
got it.
Disney pay $4 billion for Lucasfilm?
That was 15 years ago. If Lucasfilms was now, everything's up now. They ain't getting that price again.
Like can you imagine a $4 billion purchase looking like a steal in hindsight?
But it's like with WCW, right? They paid $3 million.
So how about this?
WCW.
Let's talk about WCW for a moment, because Mattel has announced their new crowdfunding project, which is the WCW Monday Nitro entranceway.
So awesome.
Looks incredible. I got to see it in person set up while in
Nice.
California. It looks amazing. Is it something I would buy?
Nah.
No. Number one, I just don't collect wrestling. But even for that, like, if I had the space, if I had the
a ring, takes up a lot of space.
It takes up.
Stage.
It's not even the ring. It's just the entrance stage.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would fund it. I mean, it looks incredible. It's the type of thing I would like to admire from afar.
Sure, go over your friend's house and play with it.
But to get this, it's $400. And to get this backed, they need a minimum of 5,000 people pre-ordering it.
Okay.
To unlock every tier, so there's five different figures that can come with this. If they get 5,000 by the end of this week, they unlock the early bird Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Once the ring is unlocked, you get Rey Mysterio. At 7,000 buys, you get Diamond Dallas Page.
Ooh.
It's DDP in tights. It's a fine looking DDP, but like they haven't given us that classic like jeans and rib tape DDP.
Yeah,
which is,
the rib tape is
that's
great.
the kind of DDP. Like that's my DDP, you know, like
100%.
But the big one is at 9. Now it goes to 11,000. There's two more, so that 9,000 is the big one though, and that's a big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, because we have not gotten a Mattel Scott Steiner figure yet.
Crazy.
They just came back into the fold.
All right.
And the night before, Friday night, I should say, they had more reveals, and they announced a Rick Steiner figure, a dog face gremlin style. Don't know if we're going to see that now with everything that went on with Rick Steiner at WrestleCon.
We'll see.
He was not he had been at WrestleCon Friday. He didn't
show up.
Not there on Saturday.
Makes sense.
And also his figure was not included in any of the slides I saw at the panel on Mattel on Saturday. And I brought it up during the Q&A. We had time to ask questions. I raised my hand, asked a question. I said, with the Rick Steiner news coming out, how does this affect plans for the release? The answer I got back was, listen, it just happened yesterday. We'll figure it out. So, I mean, and it does make sense. I don't know what's going to happen. The story seems to have kind of lost a lot of steam. So it's not like this is.
That's how the news is, right?
Yeah, the news, it comes
400 other things now.
Rick Steiner wouldn't necessarily be the first, bad person to get an action figure. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But the winner here is Scott Steiner. Everybody wants this big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, and that's at 9,000. At 11,000, we get a WCW debut Ultimate Warrior in the jeans, the cowboy boots, and the duster. If we hit all levels of this crowdfund project, Mattel would have brought in more money for this toy WCW entranceway than the actual WCW company would have sold for.
That's amazing. That's ridiculous, bro. That's just
the company, the assets, the tape library.
Tape library alone, bro. Just insane. And
now WWE sold to Endeavor to be, part of a big partnership with UFC, some kind of synergy going on there. $9.2 billion. That doesn't even seem like a real number.
Here's the thing: this when this Peacock deal ends, I wonder if we're going back to pay-per-views, bro.
And now I saw people saying that never even crossed my mind. Number one,
because they're a pay-per-view company. That's how they make their money. To them, that's how we make money. You know,
and there is no way in hell,
hell no, bro.
that I think we're talking about almost 10 years now where we've had free per-views.
They fucked it up. They could have just given us free everything, make us pay for WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, give us stupid shows for free. Nah, they say you get everything for free. $10, everything. Get the fuck. They're crazy.
There will be, people are going to pay because they're going to want to watch it. That's just the nature of it. But I do think you're risking ostracizing a big chunk of it. It might be part of the reason why WWE has this level of popularity today, is because it's become so accessible to the common fan, who, even when, like, our adolescent days of the Attitude Era, $30 for a pay-per-view seemed like a lot of money.
Yeah.
And plus we were also getting WCW pay-per-views at the time for $30. ECW pay-per-views
every once in a while.
So if you were that level of a hardcore fan, you were spending a lot of money. And obviously $100 back in 1999 is worth a hell of a lot more today. But how much, like, what does a UFC pay-per-view cost now?
I think it's $69.99.
Like, that number sounds crazy.
Big boxing pay-per-views are like $100 now.
Wow.
Like if you get like a Floyd Mayweather, you're paying $99.99 for shit like that. It's crazy.
And to me, like, $99.99 used to be like a premium level live event ticket.
That's Woodstock. We're playing that for Woodstock, baby. Like,
I went to Woodstock 99 for, I think it was $120.
It's crazy. That's
$100 used to be a premium lot. And I'll tell you what, I don't even know what, like, my ticket for WrestleMania cost, but I had, like,
I was gonna say it might be cheaper to actually go to the event than pay,
But they always do have, like, if you don't mind sitting all the way up and watching the show on a screen, basically, you just want to be in the house and say you're there.
Want to be there, yeah.
There are tickets that are affordable.
Sure.
My ticket was in the 200s, so I was in like a risers. I had nice, comfy, padded chair. It was very nice building, the SoFi Stadium, by the way. But like, it had to be, that ticket had to cost, I don't know, $300, $400.
I was gonna say probably $400, I would think.
And legitimately, I would have never paid that myself had I had to.
No. Like Patrick would pay like $100, like that's we tried. But now I couldn't even imagine. Where we sat for WrestleMania 30, it's probably triple the price now for next year,
Yeah. So for me, to pay $100 to watch something on TV,
it's true.
As someone who's not hardcore about the product,
no.
And like, don't get me wrong, I celebrate WrestleMania like everyone else, even though I'm not so into it on a week-to-week basis like a lot of other people. I still watch WrestleMania. I still watch the big shows. I can't see myself paying $100 for WrestleMania or $80 for the Royal Rumble. Like, that's not happening.
I'm gonna have to stream it on my Twitch for you, Joe. Come on, let's watch it together. On
Twitch. My God, yeah, we'll get shut down real quick. That's it. That's gonna be interesting, man.
I think it's still 2 years before that expires. So yeah, some time, but I can see it.
I mean, well, how else are they going to do it? I mean, obviously, live event.
They got to make their money back. So this is how they can make their money back. This is why UFC is all about making the fight that's going to sell tickets. Don't matter if it's number 7 fighting for the belt. They don't give a fuck if number 7 is talking his shit. Number 7's getting a title shot because people are going to pay for it. So they know it's all about money, money, money. That's the one thing about UFC that's changed with the sale is we don't just get those good fights. A lot of times we gotta wait for that fight that we really want.
And that's always been my issue with UFC. I enjoy UFC to the point where it gave me an excuse to hang out and have a couple drinks and with my friends for a UFC party. But I never really went all in on UFC like you did and some of our other friends, just because it wasn't pro wrestling enough for me.
Sure.
Two guys may or may not dislike each other, punching each other in the face, sometimes just laying on top of each other.
Yes.
It needs more pizzazz for me.
Yes, sometimes, and the build-up can be great, and then you just get the worst fight. People just laying on it's like, oh, damn. It's true.
Even WWE shows, there, believe me, there is such a thing as bad shows, but at least
course.
you get that show business aspect and the
Yes.
the glitter and the glitz, the glamour, the drama. Oh, the drama.
AEW's here this week. I think I
No one
might
cares.
go. I might go somewhere. It's close by. I might go.
A lot of rumors. Tony Khan's making a big announcement.
Oh, big announcement. Another huge announcement, Tony Khan, bro.
It's going to be some mid-level WWE guy signing, who hasn't wrestled in 9 years. The rumors are out there. We shall see. I'm not spoiling anything for anyone who's going to be watching it live. If it is what I heard it is fucking horrible.
We'll see. It's probably going to be they got some UK dates coming up. Watch, it's gonna be the huge announcement. We're going to the UK.
We're going to Western Canada.
We don't care, Tony. Just fucking tweet it out. It'll get retweeted. That's it. You don't need to go on TV and fucking. Oh my goodness, wrestling. Baby.
And once again, I don't have any like inside baseball knowledge on this stuff. Like I do know some people who work for AEW, but like my from hearing about shit on Twitter. So it's not like I know something that no one else knows.
You could look, quick Twitter search, you'll see what people are guessing.
But if it is what it supposedly is going to be, I just laugh at it. Whatever.
We'll see. Hey, their time to do stuff. If people are getting angry that Vince is back, get your shit together. Let's go.
Yeah, and the amount of vitriol that I saw post main event on night 2 was absurd. I genuinely could not believe
people love Cody, bro.
Like, and not even just about that, but like they acted like Vince McMahon like went house to house killing their firstborn.
People have had enough of Vince McMahon. Wrestling's been, WWE's been rough for a little bit, and they finally hit their breaking point, and they've been having some fun with Triple H. So to hear Daddy's home, they don't want Daddy to be home. Daddy came back from getting.
And let me tell you, Daddy ain't going nowhere. Because now that he's got a renewed purpose, that man's gonna live to be 194.
If he didn't drop dead the minute he left wrestling, he's gonna be here forever.
And that mustache is unreal.
What are you thinking?
He looks like he's auditioning to play fucking Gomez Adams.
Hey, I've been accused of rape. You know what'll make me look good? It's just unreal, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is the last time we saw you. You were in trouble for bad shit. And now you come out looking like the creepiest of creeps, my man. What is happening?
Pulling up to WrestleMania with the candy van.
Oh, that jet black hair too is just like Vince.
Oh my God, he got that Clyde Frazier just 5 minutes just for men going.
What are we doing? Oh, he makes it easy. I love it. What a wrestling packed episode. Woo, baby.
It really is. I mean, there's a lot to talk about.
Yes, of course.
And so one thing we did tell you to watch, obviously you knew we were going to watch WrestleMania. I hope you did too. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you guys enjoyed the weekend. If anybody went to any other shows, went out there, made the trip, came to the major shows, Ring of Honor, GCW, everything, Effie's Big Gay Brunch, everything that was being offered out on the West Coast. I hope you enjoyed your travels. Hope you arrive home safely. Hope you got to see Disney World, Nintendo World at Universal, maybe.
Can't wait.
I didn't get to do either of those things. Never been to Disneyland.
But that's not the time. WrestleMania weekend is not the time.
Not the time. And I didn't have the time to make it happen anyway. But the one thing we got going on, Gomez, is a month full of video game movies. We're talking about Nintendo World. I've been seeing people post their pictures from Nintendo World.
Yes.
But we're going to do video game movies all month. And we started this week.
Oh, boy.
With that fucking wheel. Picking Warcraft.
Bro, I'm happy Warcraft was picked. Did you know this is the highest grossing video game movie of all time?
So I watched this movie.
And what?
I assumed going in. Now I know Warcraft is a huge deal.
Yes.
I've never played it, but I understand that it's a big deal. I do.
Yes.
And just because I'm not into it doesn't mean nobody should be.
Yeah.
Let people enjoy things. That's my motto. That's what I say. But I guess I never truly realized the scope until I turned on this movie. And there's a lot of effects. There's a lot going on, and
There's
it doesn't
a lot
look
going
cheap.
on in this fucking movie, bro.
And it don't look cheap. So
No.
going in, I expected it to be like some cheap, low budget video game movie,
No.
and that is not what I got at
We
all.
spent some bucks on this boy.
And then I see the gross on this movie is over $430 million. Like, it's ridiculous.
But it's like 300 is from China, bro.
Yes.
It made like no money in the US. It's like $50 in the US, bro. We were not in the mood for this shit.
If you're a Warcraft person, like, reach out to us somewhere. Tell us how long you've been playing it. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna ask my my mother-in-law, UFO fan, creative He-Man. She is a big Warcraft person. That's how I know Warcraft, because she's been playing pretty much since I known her. So this movie is the origin. So like World of Warcraft is like the 5th game or something. So this movie is like setting up the world of Warcraft. Like this is how everything starts. And so the plan was for them to make several movies, and I think every movie would be based on a game. So I didn't know that. I was just like, oh, this is Warcraft, but it's not.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
So this movie is 2016, I believe it came out.
Yes.
And the story behind it is, as per IMDb, the way I like to do it.
I want to hear this because this is very interesting. Okay.
As an orc horde invades the planet Azeroth using a magical portal, a few human heroes and dissenting orcs must attempt to stop the true evil behind this war.
Okay, pretty straightforward. I get it. Generic,
but at the same time, it gives me more questions than answers here, which I guess is good, because now it makes you want to watch the movie to find out what this is actually fucking going on.
Can you tell me what's going on in this
No.
movie, Joe? I can't either. There is so much going on. Bro, I looked at the Wikipedia page.
I read the Wikipedia page too.
I said, this is not real, bro. There is paragraph after paragraph. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, this is the movie I watched?
I would have to genuinely read a novelization of the movie to understand what happened in this movie. There's orcs and a what is he? The Guardian, and the Guardian's got dark magic, but he doesn't know he's being overtaken by dark magic, or is he the bad person? But the orcs are coming through the fucking mystic gate that fucking the Beastmaster went through in part 2.
Yep.
Only they come to human Earth in like medieval times instead of going to Hollywood. And then there's these giant trolls, but I guess they're not trolls, they're orcs, but some of them have clubs, which make me think they're trolls, but yet there's no bridges for them to live under, so how could they be a troll? I just don't know.
Man, let me tell you, this movie, I will say this, right? They're like, yo, this is a fantasy movie. You better fucking strap in, because this is it. This is the world. You got to be all in it. Like, this is like a fucking nerd movie. Like, they don't give a shit. They ain't trying to be mainstream. They're like, this is it. This is a fantasy world. Just, you got to follow. Let's go.
And like Gomez said last week, we felt like, oh, we don't need to see Dungeons and Dragons. Not really our speed. And the wheel gives us one of these other fantasy movies. Now I feel like we're going to have to see Dungeons and Dragons at some point, because we watched this. And maybe, like, at least Dungeons and Dragons has Chris Pine.
Yes.
This movie has literally no one I've heard of outside of Howard Stark as the king.
I was going to say, Howard Stark, the human orc girl. She's in other stuff. If you saw her without her stuff.
She looked like I may know her, but I couldn't place her for anything.
Yeah, I don't think but I think she's been in stuff you've seen. Ben Foster, the Guardian. He's in he's that guy. He's in lots of stuff. The wizard.
Let's talk about the Guardian for a second. So we got this movie. The Guardian is there. He's supposed to be the Guardian, right?
Like
He's
Merlin.
guarding.
He's like a wizard. Yeah.
Why is he so young? Wizards are old people. That threw me off. I don't know if that's like a thing for the game or any. I'm like, yo, this is a motherfucking young guardian wizard, man.
So my biggest problem with this movie, I mean, there's lots of problems, is the cast, right? It's not just the cast, because most of these people you don't know who these
The
people
cast
are,
is not great.
right? But it's also the cast is they're like it's like they're cosplaying. You know what I'm saying? When I
Yes.
watch Game of Thrones, I'm in the Game of Thrones world, and these people are in the they're there. These people is Howard Stark is playing a king. Like that's like he just happens to be like, oh, I get to wear a robe today. Hey, everybody! Like he's like I don't feel like I'm in that world with these actors. That's one of my complaints of this movie.
I agree with that 100%. There's not really great performances in this movie. Even, there are a lot of bad movies with good performances.
Sure.
This is not one of them.
How you feel about the I'll say this movie's it's lacking on some action. There's not a lot happening for long stretches of the movie.
And then when something does happen, it does kind of come off underwhelming. Like we have like these big battle scenes multiple times. You got swords, you got these big horses. You have, I don't even know, like giant wolves that the orcs are.
Dire wolf,
and yet it still feels like very underwhelming. Like it should be so much more. It should be much fuller. It should be more There are some things where you get like people just snapping necks or people getting bludgeoned, but it almost happens off screen a lot of times. You're not seeing like the full scope of what this war is.
Yes, I agree. But again, maybe because it's so, it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's not a rated R movie, I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's a movie about war.
I get it. But also maybe they're building to a bigger war. So like we're seeing like small, these movies, they always think they're getting, 7 sequels. So like, oh, let's do like small scale stuff and then we'll ratchet up in the sequel. Let's go crazy. It's possible.
I will, like I said, the effects, however, look great. Like the orcs look great. These animals look great. A lot of the set designs and pieces look very, very good.
Yeah,
you can tell
money.
Yeah, they spent money.
They tried. This was supposed to be a thing.
I came in expecting, like I said, a very low budget video game adaptation, and I didn't really get that. Like there was obviously money spent here. Just because I don't think it was a good movie doesn't mean they didn't spend money and they didn't try. So I appreciate the effort.
They tried. I believe it almost broke even because of the overseas box office, but there were rumors that they were going to try to do a sequel, but that doesn't seem like it's happening. And I think they still want to. There's always rumors of them trying to do a Warcraft thing because it's so popular.
Yeah,
a new expansion came out last year. They're still making this game. Yeah, like it's still a very popular thing. You just don't hear it because you hear like Fortnite is the game now that
There was no Leroy Jenkins.
There was not.
I just, and I don't know how that time. I feel like Leroy Jenkins would have been way before this movie came out.
They gotta save it for the sequel.
Oh, whatever the correct game was that gets matched up.
Leroy Jenkins wasn't in number 1. He was in number 4, bro. We can't. Come on, get it right. The timeline's got to match up.
And the movie leaves it wide open for a sequel. Yes. At the end of it, it's not necessarily a happy ending. It's more of a to be continued.
Sure, it ends, but there's like, all right.
The end, or is it?
Dun, dun, dun. Oh man, what a movie! Warcraft. Oh, I'm gonna hit some music here, Joe.
Do it. Are you a man? A double main man? Are you a man? A triple main man? A man? A quadruple main man? Are you our man?
War of Warcraft. Oh, it's not. That's the game. It's just Warcraft. I'm sorry.
This is just Warcraft.
Just Warcraft. I keep doing that. That's the
can't get his Twitch address right. Can't get the title of the movie right.
2016. Woof, boy. Where's this going on the main man standings here?
Didn't hate the movie.
It's okay.
It's
not terrible.
It's fine enough. I feel like going into this movie, I don't know if there has been a movie in the 7 years we've been doing this podcast now. I don't know if there has been a movie I've been less enthused to watch.
Sure.
there have been movies I wasn't looking forward to. This was definitely one of them. At the end of the day, we have watched a lot of movies that are worse than this.
Way worse.
There are some things to like about it. There's not a lot to like about it. When it was over, it's a 2-hour movie too, and it feels a lot longer. It definitely drags. There's a lot going on. Very hard to follow, and yet with everything that's going on, it feels like nothing's happening at the same time. So it's a hard movie to grade. I like I said, I do like a lot of the effects. I thought the orcs looked great. There is some stuff that is pretty to look at, but all in all, this is just not a good movie, and you can tell why. You understand why this didn't become the monster franchise 100%. That I guess people were hoping. So for that, I'm gonna go single and a half main man, 1.5 stars.
Yeah, I'm there. 1.5, 2. Yeah, it's pretty much it's not very good. There's way worse things to see. At least the CGI is interesting to look at, a lot of cool character design. And if you're into fantasy, maybe you will get into it. Maybe this will be your shit, like I said, it's nerdy in the fact that it's just the world is established, you're getting jumped in and they're gonna throw shit at you. And you got to pick up.
You
on
almost have to have a prior knowledge of the entire world to be able to walk into this.
So, I can see that being off-putting, but like I said, it's worse things to see. The thing is, this ain't available on streaming, so no one needs to go out of their way to see this movie.
Oh yeah, definitely don't pay money.
If it's on HBO or Netflix, sure, but to pay, you don't need to rent this movie. Do not. Warcraft.
A lot of times, JoeMeZ, sometimes when I feel like I'm being harsh on a movie, and I get I take solace in the fact when you also did not like the movie. And there's been plenty of movies that we disagree on, like Hellraiser. But this is one of those movies that, because I'm not familiar with the world of Warcraft, that I was like, is it just me because I'm not personally invested in this game? Am I being harsh, but I try to look for things in movies that I like. So like we talked about the set designs and the character designs and the CGI, but I'm glad that it's not just me picking on fucking Warcraft. I'm glad it's JoeMeZ picking on Warcraft.
Fuck this movie.
So that's how we begin Video Game Month here on the Card JoeMeZ podcast, JoeMeZ. But what do we possibly have in store for a follow-up?
Well, I mean, we're gonna put the wheel to the side for 1 week.
1 week.
One week only. The wheel is going away because Joseph.
This sounds good. I'm a fan of anything without a wheel.
The big movie this week is none other than Super Mario Brothers, bro. Come on, Super Mario Brothers finally getting a movie. After 100 years, 93, right? So it's been 20 years.
Is it 93? I would have thought it was even older than that.
I mean, maybe it's 91. Either way, it's in the 30s.
It might be, it could be, because usually the movies come out as the novelty is already worn off,
Yeah, it's true.
Like the He-Man movie came out probably 2 years too late.
Super Mario Brothers is 1993. So the new version, it's animated. It's made by Illumination. These are the people that make Minion movies, shit like that. And comes out on the Wednesday. So as you listen to this movie's already out, making $1 billion already, I'm sure. I can only imagine. It's Easter weekend. Kids are off. This movie's going to make $1 billion. I can't wait to see what it does at the box office. This is something we've been waiting for, bro.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Mario has become such an important part of popular culture, right? Over the past, going on 4 decades.
But even I'm saying the past 10 years, there's Mario Brother toys now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you have built for a kid to be able to play Mario in your house? Oh, I remember, my God.
Probably going back to around 92, 93. I was at KB Toys one time with my mom, my brother. Not an unusual thing. But they had these little Nintendo, wasn't quite a play set, but it was almost like a little scene from a video game. And it was a little square, came in a little square box they would keep by the register. And they had like a Legend of Zelda, Mario Brothers, but it was like it wasn't an action figure, but it was a toy, but it wasn't like something you could play with. It was just like a display piece. And to me, I remember like, Mom, we have to get this.
It's a Mario.
Because,
like,
it
didn't exist.
It was like, it wasn't something you could play with, but it was a Mario toy. It was something
it was like
tangible
awesome.
you could hold in your hand for Mario. And I remember getting so excited for it. And I never even thought of that until right this minute. But just, there's Mario toys now. You could be Toad. You could be Waluigi.
They sell the fucking Bowser boat, the flying ship that he has, bro.
Really?
You could get Bowser's castle. Like, it is like, I wish, like, it is awesome. To be a kid and love Mario now is an awesome time. Like, I'm so happy these kids get to enjoy it.
Good for them.
Like, we used to pop, right? When McDonald's would have the Mario toys. Like, oh my God, this is so cool. Yeah. This is awesome. Mario in a boot hopping around. This is the best thing ever.
Do you have a favorite non-core Mario character?
I love me some Waluigi. I'm a big I don't know if that counts, but I vote. I don't really love any of those guys like that. You got a side guy you love?
I always liked Lakitu. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it.
The little flying guy.
Yeah, he sits in the cloud and throws the hammers down.
Yeah.
I always thought he was pretty groovy.
That's so funny. So that's the movie this week, bro. You excited? I'm excited.
You're not excited but not against it,
Oh, okay.
I'm okay. I've seen the trailer in front of all the other movies we've been watching recently, and I'm interested. Sure.
I hear it's okay. I hear the movie's okay.
Well, we shall see for ourselves.
We shall see.
The only way to grade things around here.
That's it. That's right. We love lots of things people don't like.
Yeah.
Like Rocky V, the best.
We don't all love that.
But so that's next week, Joe. You want to wrap this one up first?
Sure, hit the music.
It's now time for the big finish.
Big finish time. We have to spin a wheel at least once an episode.
Yeah, we do.
So let's spin it. Okay, Joe. It's a good one. Big finish time. Queen songs. Legendary classic rock band Queen. Here we go. You big Queen guy, bro?
I like the hits a lot.
The hits are fucking bangers.
And the hits for Queen are hits for a reason because they are all iconic in a way. So mine is going to sound very chalk, I think.
There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think... I'm going to say I think Queen are known for their hits. You hear people talking about deep track with Queen? Like,
I don't really know a lot of people who, get real deep on the Queen, the back wall stuff.
Track 12, man. Yeah. You don't understand.
For me, number one is holy shit, I just fucking completely blanked. Don't Stop Me Now. Don't Stop Me Now is my favorite Queen song.
100%. It's on my list. Might be one or two. Fat Bottom Girls. Love it. So good. Great song.
We Are the Champions. I always loved, that you would play it at a sporting event when someone won a championship. And, how many times I pictured myself, winning a game in the backyard and then running around like an asshole because I hit a jump shot and going, we are the champions.
Of course, bro. You won the game. Why wouldn't you sing that? Come on.
Of course, yeah. And last one for me is going to be Somebody to Love, I think.
That was I was going to pick. Yes, Somebody to Love. Look at that.
Love it. It's got just a nice feel to it. It's something where it's not the iconic bar songs that everyone does during karaoke, but the second you hear it, you get into that. Find me somebody to love.
Yep.
Find You can't help it.
Great. It's great. And like I said, I ain't gonna be sad if someone else plays another one, bites the dust, the under pressure.
Yeah.
I'm fucking rocking out, bro. Please, Queen, give it to me. Love it.
So, and there's other ones. Killer Queen is good, obviously. Yep. How do you feel about Under Pressure with Bowie?
Yeah, I love it. It's great. You like Bowie? I'm a David Bowie guy.
Bowie's another one like Queen where I appreciate the hits.
David Bowie's son is the one who directed Warcraft.
Really?
Duncan Jones, yes, sir.
Why isn't his name Duncan Bowie?
I don't know. Sadly, David Bowie died while he was making this movie. So, he's like, I had a rough time making this movie. It's like, that kind of sucks.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, Duncan Jones.
Duncan Jones, good. Watch Moon. I don't know where it's available on streaming, but if it's available somewhere, let me look real fast here. Moon, 2009 release. Come on, you son of a bitch. It's not streaming anywhere.
Well, JoeMeZ, it's just me and the moon tonight because it's about time for us to wrap this up. So thank you guys for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to hit that subscribe button on any of the podcast apps or here on YouTube if you are watching. Remember to follow us on all the social media at JoeMeZ. Leave us a 5-star review. Leave us some comments down on the YouTube video or get at us. Facebook.com/JoeMeZ if you want to have some conversation. Like our man Joey Hudson reached out this week about the iconic 90s songs.
Oh, what'd he say?
He said, Elastica's Connection, which we laughed, but that was one of those songs that even in its time when it was new became like a theme in every commercial. It was in commercials, in TV shows, that just iconic opening beat to it, that dan 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 dan, like it just was everywhere.
When you do, yes.
So I thought that was a really good suggestion.
Eddie Bowman reached out to us. He loves The Last Unicorn, like we said.
He does love The Last Unicorn.
He said, I understand the point you're making, but I still love it, bro. It's my shit.
Thank you guys so much. We love the interaction. We love doing the show for you guys. So appreciate you listening. Appreciate you reaching out. We'll be back next week. We're watching Super Mario Brothers and then whatever else happens to come across. I've got a lot of catching up to do because I have been traveling for a few days. So I'm behind on Mandalorian. I'm behind on some other things that I've been watching. So we'll definitely have stuff to talk about. If there's anything you think we should be talking about, reach out to us on any of these possible formats, and we will definitely get back to you and engage and possibly talk about it on the show. So you can follow all my stuff in the meantime at the Joe Shoes, ProWrestlingTees.com/Joe Shoes with a brand new t-shirt. Hopefully should be up by the time you listen to this episode. I'm really, really happy with it. Thank you to the wonderful George Feast who did the design for it. I'm very excited. Also YouTube.com/Joe Shoes, and I in 2 weeks will be in Oshkosh, Wisconsin for ACW Wisconsin, Water City Wrestling Con. Max Caster, Brian Myers, Lex Luger, Raven. The stacked event. It'll be a good time. And then May 28th, JoeMeZ.
What's this?
Long Island, New York. FWF Live 5. From the Creator Pro Wrestling Academy. Limited tickets will be available. Brian Myers and I will be in the house defending the FWF tag team titles against who? You just got to wait and find out.
Can't wait, bro. Oh, my God. I'm the JoeMeZ154 on Instagram and Twitter. That's it. Twitch, I ain't going to do nothing on Twitch for a while. I'm twitched out, bro. It's a lot of work.
But what do you say we make like Tom and Cruise?
Peace.